In your conversations with the Vatican, have you gotten any indication about what His Holiness wants to accomplish on his trip to the United States?
Well, this is his first visit to the United States ever. At the heart of the visit is the time in Philadelphia to support, encourage, and bless family life.
What do you think are some of the biggest challenges facing families today?
Well, I think the biggest trouble facing families is fidelity to one another. Divorce has become such a big issue here in the Western world. Families are under tremendous pressure financially. It's all, mom and dad are both working outside the home in order to just make ends meet. There's so many issues, and we hope that this helps people recommit themselves to the basics, which is loving one another for the sake of the stable life of their children.
What do you say to young Catholics who come to you and say, I believe in the fidelity that you talk about. I believe in providing a nurturing environment. Why can't the Church recognize that a same-sex couple or a same-sex family might be able to provide those same things?
Well, we understand marriage to certainly mean mutual love and support, but we also understand marriage to be a place where children are born into the world. And the way we understand family life is based on those two principles. And you can have a relationship where two men love one another faithfully and two women can love one another faithfully, but it isn't marriage because it's not about children in its essence.
Is it difficult as somebody trying to bring more people into the faith, more people into the flock? Is it difficult to hold the position that marriage is between one man and one woman when public opinion is so overwhelmingly headed the other way?
Certainly it's very difficult because people who hold the traditional understanding of marriage are painted as bigots by others, and no one wants to be a bigot. And so it's very, very hard to stand up confidently on this kind of issue. And especially if people don't really understand why the Church teaches what it teaches. But there's other issues that undermine marriage, like divorce happened a lot earlier, and we're against divorce, but I don't think we're generally painted as bigots because we're against divorce. But we're not against anyone, actually. We're just promoting marriage as a lifelong commitment between a man and woman for the sake of children, and that's not bigotry in any sense.
Are you seeing any Francis effect? Are more people interested, intrigued in the Church because of him?
Without a doubt. There is a whole lot of interest on the part of people who didn't usually have any interest at all, as you say. But also I think the Catholics are very proud of the Pope, and that gives them an energy and an enthusiasm for the Church. So people who practice the faith have also been stirred by the love and commitment and mercy shown by Pope Francis.
I think it's fair to say I grew up in a Catholic neighborhood in Philadelphia. It feels like that this is in many ways a very Catholic town. There is a thriving Catholic community here.
Right. I think historically Philadelphia was the strongest Catholic diocese in the country. So there is a deep Catholic history here that we can be proud of. But it's different now. Things have changed. People have moved to suburbs from the city, and we have a lot of social change taking place in the community. So we have to rearrange the Church so that we meet the needs of today. And we have to become a church of the future, a church that evangelizes and not just rests on the accomplishments of the past.
Is there anything that you are particularly excited about telling the Pope or showing the Pope?
What I'm anxious to show him really is the Church in the United States. We have a very dynamic church here. There's great enthusiasm for helping the poor. And I really want the Pope to come away from his visit not only here but to Washington, New York with an awareness of how strong the Church is and how much the Church loves him and loves his service.
How many people are we expecting here? A million?
They tell me 1.5 million, 2 million. I think maybe 1 million, so I don't know what it's really going to be, but we're prepared for whatever size the Lord gives us. We have a staff of 35 people working full-time on the gathering, which is a significant number of staff people, because it's really a big issue for us, and we want to make sure we do it right. We can't afford to be amateurs.
Is there a desire for him to see South Street, the waterfront, to have a soft pretzel? Is that part of this at all?
Well, there is a desire on the part of everybody in Philadelphia to show the Holy Father their part of the city. But I can't imagine we're not going to have the option of cheesesteaks and soft pretzels and those kind of things for him. We know for sure that he's going to see our cathedral. We know for sure he's going to see the art museum and the steps that Rocky climbed in the movie. He's going to be on the Franklin Parkway for the outdoor events that are scheduled.
You brought up one of the thorniest issues surrounding his visit, which is cheesesteaks. And have you decided which cheesesteak he's going to sample? Pat's or Gino's or Tony Luke's? Have you?
Well, I suspect that if we buy from those places for this event, we'll buy from all of them, and then he can pick what he wants.